Have you ever dreamed of a future where your money works for you, tirelessly, even while you sleep? Let's dive into the exhilarating world of the Dividend Snowball, a strategy that could fast-track your path to living off of dividends. Investing in stocks of firms that pay out a percentage of their profits to shareholders is the fundamental component of dividend investing. These payments are referred to as dividends, so why do investors find dividends to be so alluring? Well, aside from any possible capital gains, they offer a consistent flow of revenue. Hence, this implies that you will still profit from your investment, even in the event that the stock prices don't increase. As a result, this can be an important source of income for certain investors, especially those who are getting close to or in retirement. Now it's time for you to share the experience of investing and getting dividends from them in the comments. What occurs if you don't require the money right away? Hence, this is the point at which dividend investment really shines. You have the option to reinvest these dividends, buying more company shares as an alternative to taking the cash. Hence, this choice is the foundation of the compounding or snowball effect, which increases your investment over time. Let us dissect the workings of dividend reinvestment for clarity. Assume you're the owner of 100 shares of a business that distributes a $1 dividend per share annually. Hence, you will get $100 in dividends throughout the year. If you decide to reinvest these dividends, you'll essentially purchase 4 more shares of the company at the current $25 share price without having to make any additional investments. Moreover, you'll receive dividends for 104 shares instead of 100 shares the following year, which will result in even larger payouts and more shares when reinvested. Year after year, this cycle keeps happening, boosting dividends and share ownership in a snowball effect. Are you aware of the story of a farmer and a king? The farmer was a great chess player back then. The king challenged the farmer to play with and in return offered whatever the farmer wanted. To the king's surprise, the farmer won. The farmer said that he wanted 1 grain on the first column of the chessboard, 2 grains on the second column, and so on. The king laughed and said, "This is just a small portion of my wealth." However, the king was shocked when he knew that there wasn't enough grain to give the farmer. The wise farmer knew the power of compounding. Why is dividend investing so dependent on reinvestment? That's because you may take advantage of compounding when you reinvest dividends. The process by which an investment's returns gradually generate their return is known as compounding. Not only is it expanding, but it's expanding at a faster pace, like a snowball rolling down a hill coated in snow, only bigger. Do all businesses pay dividends? In a nutshell, the response is no. The majority of dividend-paying companies are well-established, lucrative, and frequently operate in more developed markets. In order to support continued expansion, younger or rapidly expanding businesses frequently decide to reinvest all of their revenues back into the company. Thus, the history of dividend payments by the company is a critical factor to take into account when choosing a dividend investing plan. Moreover, an indication of a company's sound financial standing and dedication to giving shareholders their profits is a steady history of sustaining or raising dividends. Investing in dividends involves more than just getting paid on a regular basis. When used properly, this strategy enables strategic reinvestment, which eventually causes your investment's value to rise exponentially. The secret is to be patient, pick the proper firms, and comprehend the power of compounding. Recall that investing is a marathon, not a sprint. After understanding dividend investing, let's get to the core of the issue: the dividend snowball effect. When reinvested, your dividends can significantly increase your investment over time. Much like a little snowball rolling down a hill gathers more snow and increases in size and speed. Imagine you went on a trip to Antarctica. The area was fully covered by snow, so I decided to build an igloo. Your son was on top of a snow mountain. He decided to trick you by throwing a small snowball. However, to his surprise, as the snowball reached you, it was a monster. Reinvesting your dividends allows you to use the money to purchase more company stock. You'll hold more shares as a result, increasing your dividend payout for the subsequent payout. Additionally, your dividends will grow even more in the future when you buy more shares with the rising payouts. The dividend snowball effect is a fitting term for this recurring cycle, which is similar to a snowball rolling down a hill and growing bigger with each spin. However, how does the snowball effect actually operate numerically? Let's examine a condensed illustration. Let's say you invest $10,000 in a dividend-paying stock that increases its dividend by 3% annually and produces a 5% annual payout. Hence, you'd receive $500 in dividends throughout the first year. The entire investment would rise to $10,500 if you were to reinvest these dividends by purchasing more of the same stock. With the higher dividend growth in the second year, your yield would be 5.15%, translating into around $541 in dividends on your $10,500 investment. Reinvesting this will increase your overall investment once again. Reinvesting dividends would result in a significant growth of your initial $10,000 investment if you carried out this practice year after year. The compounding effect intensifies over extended periods. The pace of growth in your investment can increase dramatically as the dividends compound and are reinvested, creating what is genuinely known as a snowball effect. Now let's examine how market volatility affects this snowball effect. There'll be years when the price of the stock you've picked declines since stock values fluctuate. If the business keeps paying dividends though, the reinvestment of those earnings will enable it to purchase additional shares during periods of low stock price. Hence, this implies that your investment may enjoy an even bigger increase when the stock price rises. A bonus benefit of the dividend snowball effect is that it's sometimes disregarded, but can significantly boost your assets in bear markets. Patience is essential to maximizing the dividend snowball effect. Over an extended period, the genuine potential of reinvested dividends becomes evident as compounding works its magic over time. The snowball effect is about steady, strong growth over several years, even decades, not about doubling your investment in a single year. A dividend snowball effect has the potential to be a potent wealth-building engine. An investor can create a self-feeding cycle of expanding wealth by reinvesting dividends, which allows them to drastically increase their number of shares and consequently future payouts. The dividend snowball effect may be a great strategy to take into consideration if you have the discipline to follow an investment plan for an extended period. Imagine you're a person who consistently invests in the stock market. However, you took all of the returns at the end of the year without reinvesting. Your friend, however, invests steadily and allows the capital to grow. After 20 years, who do you think might enjoy financial freedom? How can you begin investing in dividends and take advantage of this potent snowball effect? Selecting the appropriate companies to invest in is the first step. As we've previously stated, not all businesses pay dividends, and those that do are typically well-known enterprises with a track record of success. It's important to examine a few important considerations when choosing these companies. You can start by examining the dividend yield of the business. The yield, represented as a percentage, is calculated by dividing the annual dividend payout by the stock price. In essence, it indicates how much dividend yield you're receiving for your money. A large return is not the only factor to take into account though. Examining the company's dividend payment history is equally significant. Dividend investors are particularly drawn to companies that have a history of paying dividends and have a track record of gradually raising those payouts. It's critical to take into account the dangers and factors involved with dividend investing. Dividend investing has possible risks, just like any other investment strategy. The possibility that a business will reduce or stop paying out dividends is one of the main hazards. Although it's often assumed that businesses with a track record of reliably paying dividends are less likely to do so, it's not implausible. A financially troubled firm can decide to cut or stop paying out dividends in order to conserve cash. Hence, this could have a big effect on your dividend income as well as the share price of the company. You should know that dividend investing is a long-term approach to accumulating and preserving wealth rather than a quick money gimmick. And there you have it folks, the fascinating journey of building your very own dividend snowball. By now you've seen how harnessing the power of dividends can transform your financial landscape, bringing you closer to the dream of living off of your investments. Before we wrap up, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So stay tuned, keep investing smartly, and let's keep that dividend snowball rolling. Until next time, keep growing your wealth, and remember, your financial future is in your hands.